YLP arsonists and 1 convictions. However, they were able to be considered for release last year. As district attorney, is there anything you can do in charging a case to ensure that arsonists stay in prison for the duration of their sentences?
Yeah, charging is an often overlooked and very important part of how we do cases. And in the YLP arson case, we charged everything that we could have charged. The way that verdict came back meant that afterwards, when Prop 57 passed, which of course nobody could have anticipated, those people became eligible for early parole. And having left the office, Mr. Lynn and I don't always get along. We are amicable, but we're not best of friends. I came back and worked with him in Yosemite Lakes Park to collect letters to hold those people in. And as far as Mr. Lynn was concerned, that was the end of that. We'll do it again next year. But that wasn't sufficient for me, because even when I'm working in Fresno, I live here in Madera, and Madera is my home. So I went to work with the district attorney in Sacramento and with CAL FIRE to go to work on a bill called Keeping California Safe. I hope you've heard of it. We're in the process of collecting signatures, and there are a lot of opportunities to sign those petitions. And what that does is it adds crimes to the list of crimes that aren't eligible for early parole. And I'm very proud for Eastern Madera County to say that my part in that was making sure that serial arson will no longer be eligible for early parole. So from now on, a case charged the way I charged that case, convicted the way this jury convicted, those people will not be eligible for early parole. That legislation is on me. You're welcome.
David, yeah.
Yes, if I get a chance to rebut that, I did keep the arsonists in jail for only another year, and the reason why they were eligible for parole was because Sally didn't charge that case appropriately. I sent her a letter early on saying, hey, why did you just take the low-hanging fruit? Why didn't you go for aggravated arson? Why didn't you go for more dwellings that were occupied? In fact, I've had the opportunity to discuss that case with CAL FIRE at length. Bernie Quinn, I'll name names, who told me, yeah, we just blew it when we charged the case. That was Sally's case. She didn't charge it right. And as a result of which, those individuals very possibly may be getting out of jail next year. But there's another but, and that is they may be getting out sooner, because that case, because of the way Ms. Marino handled that trial, she's been accused of suppressing evidence, a serious charge against a prosecutor, quote unquote prosecutor. And that case is up on appeal before the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals in Fresno right now. I'm told that it'll be coming down within the next month. And if that case comes down, 2 things are going to happen. One, the defendants that are locked up are going to walk out free. And 2, Ms. Marino is going to lose her bar license. Those 2 things are going to happen. Thank you.
Paul?
Hey, thank you. It pains me to say this, but I have to agree with Mr. Lynn on this to a certain degree. I have had some conversations with folks from CAL FIRE and in the office here, and you know, the way that the case was charged could have been different. I'll leave it at that. I would like to say, though, that there's a bigger issue here, and that's with upholding the convictions once they happen. And, you know, Mr. Lynn is also correct. The Waterman-Jackson case is currently pending direct appeal for prosecutorial misconduct. And the misconduct is that there was evidence Ms. Marino had in her actual possession and did not turn that evidence over until mid-trial. And as a result, now we may have to do this 6-month arson trial over a second time. That's not good for anybody. If you look at Ms. Marino's historical record, there is a real lack of attention to detail, folks. There is currently a case back in our office now that she tried that is back for a second trial. That is the Hogan homicide trial. That is a heinous murder where the person was bludgeoned to death and sodomized before being killed. That is already back for a redo because of cumulative error. Ms. Marino tried that case. That is a case where the appellate court has said that person did not get a fair trial because evidence was kept out and certain evidence was argued to keep in. And now we have to do that case over again. If you look at her own personal bar record, She has twice been suspended involuntarily for failing to comply with the bar rules. Once for not doing continuing legal education, and once for not paying her bar dues. Thank you.